Hi all, this is Skate, and today I want to have a quick look at the Gup Collection, or the Girls in Panzer collection. Now this collection consists of 3 vehicles. You've got the Tiger at tier 6, which is the Kuramori Mine, or Sushi Tiger, or you've got Panzer Anko, or you've got the Hetzer King. Now, for those players been playing for a while, you've probably already got the Sushi Tiger and Anko, so it's just the Hetzer to get out of this recent event which is about to start. I've put the stats up for all 3 vehicles because those who don't have it or were silly enough to sell them, well, it's worth having a look at the stats on them to see if it helps you make your mind up on which tanks you want to go for first. I'm going to assume the vast majority of people are going to be after the Hetzer first because, as I said, most people probably have the other 2 tanks. If you don't have the other tanks, my personal recommendation would be to go for this Sushi Tiger first. Reason being, quite simply, it's a Tiger, and it's a Tiger at tier 6 with the same armor. Now, again, only my opinion, but one thing I have always thought is the Tiger should be at tier 6, not tier 7. So when they stick a Tiger like this in the game at tier 6, for me it's something I'm going to jump on. The armor is a lot better a tier lower. Now the replay running at the moment, you'll see a lot of bounces. As long as you angle this correctly like you would a normal Tiger, it's going to bounce an awful lot, and it's very good for that. And it's a Tiger, so it's iconic. Now, don't go thinking this thing has insanely good armor. It's still a Tiger, so it's only good with the armor front when you are angling. But if you angle it properly, you've got tier 5, 6 and 7 guns firing you instead of tier 6, 7 and 8. So the guns are smaller, you've got the same armor profile. You're going to bounce more shots provided you angle the tank correctly, which is precisely the reason this is the replay I chose to put in this video. Not because it's got insanely high damage or anything like that, it's because of how much you can bounce, and that to me is what a Tiger should be able to do. And to be fair, at tier 7 you're not really going to get much of an opportunity to do that. Doing it in a Tiger at tier 6 is a lot different. That's why this is a first choice for me anyway. It's a Tiger at the end of the day. It's a Tiger with the correct gun as well. It still has an 8.8, it has 145 pen, 220 alpha, and then with the APCR it has 190 alpha and 195 pen. Standard rate of fire is 7.36, that's without any consumables, without any equipment fitted. With equipment and some provisions, you can get the rate of fire up to about 8.5 rounds a minute. All in all, it's not OP, but it's very, very good. And I like it for that reason. It's a challenge to drive still, you still have to angle it, but the armor is much better a tier lower. And that's why it's a first choice for me if you don't have it. Like I said, the vast majority of people watching this video probably already have it. But if you don't, I would definitely try and pick this one up. Oh, I just remembered another good thing about it. It has 8 degrees of gun depression. The top form on the Tiger at tier 7 with the top gun only has 7 degrees of gun depression. It also has 15 degrees of gun elevation. And in fact, that applies to all the tanks in the Girls in Panzer collection. The Hetzer, the Anko, and the Kuramori Mine, which is easier just to call it the Sushi Tiger, they all have 8 degrees of gun depression and 15 degrees of gun elevation. Now, for those who haven't got the Anko, there is something slightly different. And when you first get it, you can't help but go, oh, that's amusing. At this point in time, everybody who has the Anko is going, yeah, it's amusing at first, Skate. Because for the first few battles you're out, those little voices are amusing. After that, it is annoying as hell. But it's still amusing, so basically, instead of having the standard voice, this tank has the irritating voice. What I should be saying is it has the Girls in Panzer, Girls und Panzer voices. And I can't describe it in any other way other than it's humorous, but it's really annoying. Have a listen. Yeah, like I was saying, if you don't have the tank, it's humorous, and people want to go for the tank as a result of that. If you do have it, you're annoyed at me for getting that stuck in your head again. Because every time you fire the gun, it does it again. It's exactly the same phrase. I suppose it depends on your age bracket, what you find funny, and if you like anime or you like Girls in Panzer. I've never watched it myself, only to have a quick look after playing the Anko, actually. But they did have a mouse in the episode I watched. And is it wrong that I want them to bring that mouse in? I don't like fantasy tanks. Each to their own, of course, and I have nothing against them, etc, etc. They're there for a reason. They wouldn't keep bringing the tanks into the game if people weren't using them or playing them or buying them. I'm not a fan of them. You won't see me much in something like a Helsing or anything like that. I'm just not a fan. But these tanks, I don't mind. They're very quirky, and they're not exactly fantasy tanks. They've just got a little bit of anime colouring to them. They are genuine tanks. And it's the same with Anko. It's a good tank. It's by no means OP, and I'm not saying it's OP. It's not the case. It's just a good tank. It's fun. But those voices can be really irritating. But this is the one most people want to have a look at, because most people have the other two and have basically just heard for the last 7 minutes. This is the Hetzer Kame. Now, the idea of a premium Hetzer is very, very appealing to me. When I heard this was coming into the game, obviously I didn't know what gun was on it, and I was desperately hoping it would have the 10.5. But then I looked up a picture of the Gup Hetzer, and from the actual anime program, it looks like it had the 75, so I waited till it came in, and yep, it has 7.5 KWK 39L40 gun, which, by the way, is pretty much the same gun on Anko. Anko has the KWK 40L40, rather than the KWK 39L40, but the stats are pretty much the same. Except this is obviously a tier lower, and it has a slightly lower rate of fire. Without any equipment or provisions, my rate of fire is 6.8. With provisions, my rate of fire is up to 7.59. And if you want a straight answer, this tank is very good. Like I said, I was disappointed hoping for the 10.5. A premium Hetzer with a 10.5 gun, hell yes. But it's a Hetzer. The Hetzer is known for being trollishly annoying with its armour, especially at the front. Well, only at the front. It has 60mm of frontal armour. Now that 60mm is also very heavily angled, which makes it very, very bouncy, especially if, between your shots, you angle. Just turn your tank slightly to the side while you're reloading. The side and the rear, you've got 20 on the side, you've got 8 on the rear. So don't give anyone your rear, and don't let anyone circle you. Easier said than done, I am well aware of that, but put this tank in a situation where it's very, very strong, and it's gonna chew through a team with no problem whatsoever. And that doesn't mean sticking it at the back of the map and just camping the hell out of it. It literally means going hell for leather, angling it through corners like this. I mean, I just got shot by a T-40 at the back of the map, and that did go through, but my armour is angling down. It has 8 degrees of gun depression, so if I angle my tank using those 8 degrees of gun depression, like I said, it becomes very, very bouncy. And you can see how many shots I have bounced in this already. Now I'm being very cautious because I know that T-40's there, so I'm trying to get behind this rock so I can come down and shoot him. However, if I poke out now, that T-40 is going to kill me. So I'm waiting until he next fires. There, he has now appeared, and now I can go take some shots at him. He's not even looking at me. I was spotted, so you'd think he'd be looking at me. And he is going to go behind the rock. Have we got one more? Yep, there's another one. Do you think he's going to stay there? You know he's going to stay there, don't you? Why didn't he move? I don't know. So it is just 2 left to deal with. Now I am in a situation here where he can shoot my lower plate. If I can bait him to shoot at me and bounce off the upper plate. That means I can go straight down and try and put one into him, or I can screw it up and go a little bit too far and just dunk it into his track. Great. But he has just shot again. He is going to be a one shot, so I'm just going to go for it and finish him off. So it puts us on 5 kills. All in all, it is a very, very good tank. This is my second game out in it. Mastery is going to be low because it's fairly new, but 1,790 damage I was very happy with at tier 5. For the credits, 33,000. Not the greatest for a premium tank. In fact, the credit coefficient of this tank is only just above 100, which basically means it's no better than a normal tank. So you're not going to be playing this for credits, you're going to be playing this tank for fun. If you like Hetzers, make sure you pick this one up. And once you've got all 3 tanks in your garage, you will then also get this cool little medal, which is the Gup Collection Medal. And it's just a funky little add-on bit, pretty much, to try and encourage you to go get all 3 tanks. I'm going for the Hetzer because I already have the other 2, and try and pick up as many spare parts, etc. on my way through. Now, the only other final point I need to add to this is individual start time. I'm not a big fan of grinding events, purely because I have a lack of time to make sure I hit all my missions, etc. This is a step in the right direction in terms of events. The event will start when you log into the game for the first time between the 5th of June and the 19th of June. So if you don't log in at all until the 10th of June, your event won't start until the 10th of June. The downside is avoiding logging into your account even to check your messages, etc. during this time. But I really do think that individual start time is a nice little touch, and it definitely is a step in the right direction in terms of these little grinding events. I hope you have enjoyed the video, guys. It is only a quick one in comparison to my usual rambles, but I have a lot of videos coming out this week, thankfully. I haven't really put much out recently due to an insanely busy month, but I've got some subscriber replays coming out, and more importantly, the tank guides, which I have bloody missed making. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.